Hey guys, Sam here, and welcome to another randomized league. We have done this with the Premier League and the La Liga. If you want to go check them out on the channel, go ahead and do so. But today we are focusing on the Bundesliga as per your guys' requests from the poll in the top right corner. If I'm pointing to the right corner, I don't know, one of them, I don't know which one. Without further ado, let's get into it and let's see which team will win in a randomized Bundesliga. Another thing I should mention about the Bundesliga is that there were actually a lot of injured players and players that you would expect to be starting that aren't, and there were a lot of low-rated players starting. So if you notice, the averages for the Bundesliga are lower than the Premier League and the La Liga. That is the reason. There was a lot of low-rated 70s and even 60-rated players, or high 60-rated players, I should say, that were starting for teams. So if you're wondering why the averages are a little bit lower, that is the reason. The first team is FC Augsburg, and I think they have a pretty decent team. Nothing really too special. Toprak and Brooks, that would be actually a pretty beastly centre-back partnership. They have Kita from Leipzig and Holtby in the attacking mid position. It's a decent team. There's nothing really too special there, though. Bayern Munich, the biggest club in Germany, weren't really able to get too good of a team. They have a couple of low-rated players, but their standout players are Ibišević up front, Guerrero from Dortmund, and Julian Weigl as well from Dortmund. But other than that, again, they really lack. Hertha Berlin, wow, what a team Hertha Berlin have. I could not believe the way this fell. Lahm, Vidal, and Lewandowski, all from Bayern Munich, moving to the nation's capital of Berlin. Mitchell Weiser kept his spot in the right mid position. Pekarik is in there as well. Alaba is in there. He's another Bayern Munich player I should mention. I can't believe I completely forgot about Alaba. 4 Bayern Munich players, or I guess former Bayern Munich players, playing for Berlin. What a team this is. Other than the goalkeeper, this is an insane team. Taking a look at Werder Bremen, a very well-rounded team. Not too many low-rated players, but their standout players are Niklas Schuler and Campbell. Darmstadt, actually one of the funniest things I think about this one of the coolest things I'd say about this randomizer is Darmstadt actually got Altentop. Now, not the Altentop that they already have, the other Altentop. I forget which team the other one plays for. They both play in the Bundesliga, and he ended up with his brother in the same team at Darmstadt. Obviously, the CDM is the one that was already at Darmstadt. That's why he's not starting. But the other Altentop came in, and he's playing in a defensive mid position. But Darmstadt didn't really get a good team. They got one of the 68 rated players. They also got Leno and Mali. Moving on to Eintracht Frankfurt, a well-rounded team, but not really any standout players other than the goalkeeper, Ralf Fährmann. Hamburg got a decent centre-back partnership. Mats Hummels and Benedikt Höwedes, a fantastic centre-back partnership right there. The rest of the team is pretty average as well. Not too many low-rated players. No one really under 75. One player under 75, so not bad from Hamburg. Hoffenheim with a couple of standout players. Emil Forsberg, Luis Gustavo, and Jan Sommer. Ingolstadt, oh my goodness. I would not be, if this was a real life thing, I would not want to be Ingolstadt right now. 2 players under the 70 rating. They have Bellarabi and Traore, but my word, not a really good result at all. I mean, the rest of the players aren't bad, but to be stuck with 2 players under 70 rated, that's a real hindrance right there. FC Cologne, oh my goodness, what a team this turned out to be. Hernandez with Stindl behind him, Goretzka's in there, Thorgan Hazard, Socrates and Nastasic as a centre-back partnership and hits in between the sticks. A really, really, really solid team, and was one of my favourites going into the season. Bayer Leverkusen didn't really get a good draft at all. They do have Gila Vogi and Bormann as the 2 80 rated players, but other than that, really, really average. And they have Eggestein as well. You don't want a player with egg in their name. That's when you know you haven't done well. See, Mainz had an okay team. You're looking at it and you're thinking Aubameyang, Volland, Thiago, and Piszczek. Unfortunately, again, with another player under 70 rated, so that would probably hinder them a little bit, but you'd expect someone like Aubameyang and Thiago, 2 very elite players, over 85 rated. You'd expect them to carry the weight. So I think Mainz overall would be pretty happy with that. That's a very good team. Another couple of Bayern Munich players linking up were Thomas Muller and Ian Robben, the real only 2 standout players here. The rest of the players very, very average, but nothing too detrimental to the side. Muller and Robben, can they link up and do something at Borussia Mönchengladbach? Leipzig got an okay draw. They have Max Kruse up front, Kalou, Hector, and Berkey, so 4 players over 80 rated. But you're talking about my personal favorites, and it is Schalke. Modeste up front, Dembele behind him, bit of French connection. You got Castro on the left, Bayer and Koke also in the midfield. Then you got Javi Martinez trying to sort out that back four with Timo Horn in between the sticks. Lowest rated player 72, but in total only 4 players under the 80 rating. For me, FC Schalke were the favourites for this competition. Freiburg, the only player up front that was any good was Raphael. Other than that, they do have like Bazoa. He's a good player, but he's 75 rated, so just looking at the team, very, very average. And last but not least is Wolfsburg, and they have a okay team. The attacking sort of front 4 is good. Gomez, who they were able to retain, Timo Werner, Julian Brandt, and Frank Ribéry. But again, nothing too special. And that is what I found with the Bundesliga clubs, guys. The ratings for most of the teams aren't that good compared to even La Liga, who are pretty well known. Like, the lower teams in La Liga don't have good ratings, but I felt like the averages for the Premier League and the La Liga were higher than the Bundesliga. Now, I might be wrong. I haven't worked out the averages yet while I'm recording the audio. That I do that after. So everything that I do, my favorites that I pick to win it, everything, I do that before I simulate and before I do the averages. Looking at the teams, just looking at the ratings, looking at how many players are under 70 rated, I would say that the Bundesliga do have lower rated players, or at least that's how it seems, and they have a lot of under 70 rated players, mainly because a lot of talented players play on the bench for a lot of clubs, like Bayern, like Dortmund, like even Wolfsburg. Look at their bench. They've got Ntep on there, they've got Vieira on there that don't start, so they don't get randomized. But also, I think there's been a lot of injuries in the Bundesliga as well to some key players, like Manuel Neuer wasn't in the draft, he's injured in real life, so I think that does play a part, but I was just putting it out there that the Bundesliga overall felt like it was lower rated. But without further ado, let's take a look at how things ended up through the season. Halfway through, and it's Leipzig that only have 2 losses to their name and are sitting at the top of the table with Darmstadt right behind them. My personal pick of Schalke are sitting in 13th position, which is not good at all. I'm not sure why Darmstadt are doing so well. Their highest rated player was Leno at 86, after that was Mali at 80, but after that, nothing really special. A lot of mid-70s. They have, up top, they have Shiplock, who's 70 rated, and in left back, Kubler, who's 68 rated. I don't see where they've gotten their wins from, but Darmstadt are doing very well. And then Leipzig, again, pretty average. They do have an under 70 rated player. No one really elite. And again, it seems like every time we do this, there is such a big surprise that the average rating of the starting 11 really doesn't affect anything, to be honest. Every single time I've picked a favorite, and, you know, they've had an amazing team, they've ended up not even performing that well. Okay, here we are at the end of the season. Drastic changes to the table. FC Mainz have won it by 8 points. At halfway through the season, guys, they had 8 losses. They've ended the season with 9 losses. They only lost 1 in the next 17 games. And that is just astonishing. They've won it by a mile. Their team consisted of Aubameyang, Volland, Thiago, Piszczek, and Hradecki as their 80+ rated players, but I didn't think the squad was that good, but I was saying that Aubameyang and Thiago are very elite players. Those 2 ratings there should be able to carry Mainz. I didn't think they'd carry Mainz to an 8-point victory above second place Wolfsburg. My personal pick of FC Schalke ended up in 12th position, guys, so it seems like my tipping on these things just isn't very good at all. I'm tipping the good teams. They're just not performing well, but Berlin, who I thought were a really good shout as well for favourites, came in 3rd. Bayern Munich, their starting 11 wasn't that good, but remembering they had a very strong bench, they came in 4th. And going down the list, the last team was Ingolstadt. I did say that if I didn't want to be a team, I wouldn't want to be Ingolstadt because they had the 2 fullbacks below 70 rating, and that is what you get. When you have weak fullbacks, you don't get points. Look how far below they were. I don't think we've had an out-and-out loser by that margin, 12 points. I really don't think it's been that big of a gap between last and second last. That is it for the randomized Bundesliga, guys. If you did enjoy this video, I do urge you to leave a like on the video. I hope you guys are enjoying the randomizing. I want to do more, so there's a poll in the top right corner, 3 different leagues. What do you guys want to see? You want to see Serie A? Should we mix up the Italian league and Juventus? Or Ligue 1 with the French league? Or the third option, a bit of a random one, mainly because I'm Australian, the Australian A-League. Would you guys like to see that randomized? Go ahead and leave your votes in the top right corner. I hope you guys did enjoy today's video. I hope you had a good day. I'll see you guys in the next one very soon. Keep it real.